We live in a world where everything is done by imitation. From the day you were born up to this day, we imitate our parents, we imitate our friends, we imitate our influencers, musicians, artists, name them. Everybody in our society, we imitate them in one way or the other. And it has been so common that we don't even know that we are doing it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ifnayana, and I'm a pharmacy student that does a YouTube video at a part-time job. I love making videos, that's why I make videos, and if you're interested you can click the subscribe button. And I want to thank my returning subscribers, and if you're new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe to see this beautiful face. Get into the video. So today's video we'll be talking about imitation. Like, ask yourself, in what ways have I imitated people without even knowing? Because I'm making this video because I'm a typical example of that. I've done that so many times in my life. So today we'll be talking about imitations, the way it has caused harm, the advantages and disadvantages of it, and also ways you can limit yourself from imitating people. There is a man named René Girard. He's a French scientist, and he said something. He proposed, or he made a theory about mimetic desire. So mimetic desire is just actually, let me say, another name for imitation, because it's just, for example, I have this phone and I bought this phone new and I've been using it, and you saw me using this phone and you're like, oh, this phone is nice, and you love the things I do with this phone. When you go to the market to buy your own phone, there is 95% chances that you're going to buy this phone if you see it in the market. So that's a typical example of mimetic desire. And you know the funniest part of it all? We human beings think we are autonomous. That's, we do things according to our own rational brain without even knowing that 95% of things we do is imitation. This thing I'm saying now is an imitation because I got the inspiration from Ali Abidal's newsletter. In one of his newsletter, a week, 2 or 3 days ago, he said something about mimetic desire, and I had to go into it and browse it, and I found out that I'm a typical example of that, and I decided to make a video on that. So we all experience that. According to Luke Burgess, I don't know, Burgess. According to Luke Burgess, the main problem of mimetic desire is that there is always a new model to follow, and most models are liable to lead us away from what we might truly need or want. And we see that a lot in people that are studying courses that they don't want, people that are doing jobs that they don't want because this person is doing it, or because of the standards that have been set for them to follow. It happens, but I'm happy that I'm doing it because I really like. The advertising companies has taken a hold of that these days. That's why we have ambassadors. Like, we have many brand ambassadors, because they know that their tendency is that people will not buy it if they just showcase it like that. So they bring celebrities. There's one I saw, the video in front of Munchit. And I was like, okay, it's to make his fans be like, oh, the video is eating munches, and they will buy it. It increases their sales, and we see it in a lot of brands. So it's an example of mimetic desire. Instead of them to send it direct to us, they are using a medium to make us buy it. It's just like a triangle, something like that. You may be asking, so is mimetic desire a bad thing or a good thing? Mimetic desire is actually not a bad thing, but it becomes dangerous when we imitate things that cannot be shared. Example, for the celebrities, some people imitate them according to maybe their cosmetics, their skincare routine and stuff like that. But when you now go deeper into their personal life that they themselves might not be feeling or are not ready to share or something like that, it now becomes dangerous. When you get into things that cannot be shareable, when you start imitating things that cannot be shareable, that's actually bad. Mimetic desire can make you want things, because you buying this phone because you saw me with it will limit you to looking for other phones, because you saw me using this phone, automatically you will like this phone. You are not looking for anything else, you are looking for this phone. So it's an example of that. There are ways to limit you to mimetic desire, to make you overcome pressure of mimetic desire, the pressure to do things that you may not like to do. For example, I have a typical story because there is a video in this channel about graphic designing that I did because that video was just influenced, like I was influenced to do that video. I had a friend that is a graphic designer and he was teaching me about graphic designing and stuff like that. I was like, oh, graphic design is what I'm called to do. So I was so happy doing flyers, learning how to do it, and I was like, let me try it in my YouTube channel. And to be sincere, throughout those periods that I was doing those flyers, it took me hours and it was so boring. There was nothing fun there. Like, God, I would spend hours doing one flyer and it wasn't something I really enjoyed. So after making that video, I found out that I was really influenced to do that video. So it's a typical example, and there are so many ways to overcome limiting desire. If you think it's not overcomable, it's very overcomable. There's a word like that. So one of them is creating your models. Know your models. Know the people that you're looking up to. That's why I will always advise people to look up to Christ. There is no other person in this world that can give you a perfect example of good living if not him. That's just what I'm going to tell you. The number 2, which is establish a hierarchy of value. When you create your model, let it be based on your values, based on the things you believe in. Let it be based on the things that you love, based on the things that add value to your life. It's not based on rubbish things. Anything, if it's rubbish thing that adds value to your life, you can create hierarchy based on that value. But just make sure you establish a hierarchy of values whenever you are creating the model. The third one is use imitation to drive vision. And this is a typical example of that. If you heard me say before, this video was inspired by Ali Abidal's newspaper, and I used that, I imitated him, and I used it for innovation. That's creating this video. So this is a typical example of all these things I've been saying. Learn how to create your own model and establish a hierarchy of value, and then you turn that into innovation, turn that imitation into innovation. Make sure that all your imitations is something that will create something good and valuable to you and to everybody around you. Make sure to like and subscribe because it helps people to see my videos. I don't know why I don't like seeing it within the video. I just concentrate on giving out what I want to give out, and now after the voting I'm like, oh, subscribe. Please make sure to subscribe.